Let's talk about, walking purpose, living on purpose and align with purpose. What does that mean?
Walking in purpose and aligning in purpose. And I think that is, you feel it on you. I believe when you're doing what you're supposed to do, the road is so smooth. Everything transitions so seamlessly. Jobs, family, everything is just in line. I believe when you're operating in your purpose, I believe you're operating in the will of God. And life is just so much easier. You overlook the troubles and the issues. They're there, but when you're moving in your purpose, you're so driven, you're so focused, the other stuff doesn't even really matter.
With your friends and some family members, do you have frequent discussions about purpose?
Yes. I can say as someone who grew up making a number of very poor decisions, specifically in my youth. uh, I'll use the example of a picture that my oldest daughter asks at least once a year. There's a picture of myself and four other young men. And these were young men who I'd associated myself with for years. And of the five of us in the photo, one of us has not seen any jail time, and that's me. Two of them in the photo are incarcerated for the remainder of their lives for the decisions they made. And I look back at that picture and the people who I surrounded myself with, even in my youth, and I compare it to the people who I associate myself with now, people who are builders, people who are constructing things, people who are trying to elevate those around them. And it's so easy to have those conversations now, being comfortable to talk about purpose, what drives you, what makes you get up in the morning. And it's an amazing experience, to have the right people in your circle to where those conversations are just as regular as if you were talking about a football or a basketball game.
So that picture is a constant reminder for you
Yes,
who should be around you, who you should surround yourself with. Well, let's talk
absolutely.
about those individuals in the picture, or folks, or friends, or individuals in general that would be like those type of persons. What advice do you have for them? Those
Oh
in
man, the advice I would have for them, specifically at that young of an age, would be, it's, you don't have to go with the flow. You don't have to just follow. Even in times when you're in the leadership role, I think people, they'll be leading but still following at the same time. And I think there are a lot of people who are in that position where they just feel like, I just need to follow what's in front of me. I just need to do the status quo. You can break out of that. You don't have to do what everyone else is doing. Specifically, if you know it's wrong in your heart of hearts, if you know it's incorrect, you can break from that and literally be the friend in your group that causes everyone else to change. I had two of those friends show up to a party when I graduated from the police academy. And I remember coming back home to California, and one of them looked at me and said, they let you be the police. He said, I can't believe they let you. I said, yeah. He said, man, you come a long way, man. I'm proud of you. And hearing that from someone who I used to run the streets with and be around with was, it warmed my heart. And it reminded me, and you asking that question, you can literally be the change that your friends and your family and those around you need by just deciding, I'm not going to be regular. I'm not going to do what everyone else does. I'm going to break stride and go my own way. And if you're somebody who has that real leadership in you, they'll naturally just follow.
they said to you, they let you be the police.
It was one of the funnier conversations I've had with that friend, and he stood there and just looked in awe and said, "They let you." I said, "Yeah, man." He said, "But for to hear him say, man, I'm like, Augusta, man, I'm so proud of you, bro." To hear that, even now in this moment, thinking of all the things that we did as kids that we shouldn't have did, situations, I'm truly thankful because like I said, the difference between myself and them was I had two parents in the home who loved each other and really poured and invested into me. They made sure that they made sure I was on the right track. And even when I was on the wrong track, they put me on the right one again. So yeah, that was good times, good
And
times.
that's a good point, you know. In the pursuit of your purpose, you know, ever so often we all get off the rail. Who checked you?
Oh, it would absolutely, I would say it was primarily my father who raised me. I know a lot of people in my situation, you know, if it's the single parent home, a lot of times it's the mother. So my mother was always there. She knew in the period where she was single that she had to be a little harder on me, but she also surrounded me with good men. Her older brothers, my uncles, my great great uncles. I played sports, so I was always around that. But my father was always, from the time he got into my life, it was always very stern and correction. And he would always put on the back end, which I tell fathers all the time, don't just correct your kid. Tell them on the back end what it was, because he would always tell me, look, I'm doing this because I love you, number one. And that was the first thing. I do it because I love you. And number two, I do it because I know you're going to do something better. I know you're going to be something great. I expect more from you. That expectation from him as a father at times is also really just put me on the path where he, you know, moments where, you know, you as a father, not necessarily angry with your kids, but just knowing that they have more, being more disappointed. Those are the moments where I said, I've got to get back in line. I've got to do this right. But yeah, he was always a presence to make sure that I got back in line.
It's awesome. It's awesome.